All right, hello. I'm gonna talk about Goldeneye yet again, and this Madonna thing for today, because there's a ton more stuff to this that connects back to Super Bowl. There's an absolute ton of stuff, and in fact, I don't have time. I mean, I might look at some more stuff after I get done with this, but it's absolutely loaded. Let me start. Right, Goldeneye. So if you've not seen my previous decode, probably watch that one first. But very quickly, Goldeneye. There's a reference to this to Madonna in this film potentially dying. Okay, and also in this film we have Pierce Brosnan do the dam jump. Now, if we reference back to I Pet Goat, I'll add it up here. If we reference back to I Pet Goat, you'll recall that in I Pet Goat there's this scene. I'm going to come back to the scene in just a second. But there's this scene that references Madonna's halftime show, okay, with Eli Manning as the MVP in that game during that Super Bowl. Notice this red ring here that is also in Goldeneye and is also in, so it's in Goldeneye here, and it's also in so it's in I Pet Goat here. This is to do with that Super Bowl halftime show. And if you watch my decode on this several months ago, the number that comes out of this to do with Eli Manning and Madonna and other certain significant dates is the number 163. Okay, and so if we look at another reference to this and to the dam and to Madonna's halftime show, you'll see that in Madonna's halftime show, she's got this goat outfit on, and she's on what looks like a golden version of the Hoover Dam. Yeah, and what the dam is the block off of the eye. Okay, it's blocking the eye. This is the golden eye that she's on right here. Okay, more or less. Okay, so this is the golden eye, the dammed off Colorado River. Okay, also look here with the red ring, the goat symbolism. This is the Hoover Dam with the goat symbolism on it. Okay, notice the 163 like we had with Eli Manning. Okay, and also, what else do I want to say about this? There is also some other stuff that encodes 163 to do with the golden ratio. And again, the golden ratio, that ratio between two numbers becomes the eye. Okay, so it's another golden eye reference. The 163 is another golden eye reference. Okay, without explaining everything, if you go back to the previous video, that'll explain why 163 is also a golden eye reference. Although I don't think I necessarily said that in the video, but I did leave it in the comments. But let's look at Pierce Brosnan, the guy that does the dam jump in Golden Eye. Okay, so he's jumping off that dam to be reborn through from his birthday through to the 11th, which is today, just about still today's date. Look at this number jump here, 26,569. It is 163 squared. Okay, 163rd square. Now, let's connect this back now with the Super Bowl, because at the end of this film, James Bond has a fight with the baddie guy, which is Sean Bean, who is Yanis, who is essentially playing the role of the twin in that. Okay, with Bond. Okay, and so it's the sacrifice of the twin. Okay, the scapegoat stuff. Anyway, let's look at where that thing takes place. Okay, it takes place, the final scene takes place, or the final sort of ending part of the film takes place in Puerto Rico at the Arecibo Observatory. Okay, now this is very interesting with Super Bowl halftime, because what was the whole theme? It was Puerto Rico. Okay, with Bad Bunny. And if I get a chance, I will do the Follow the White Rabbit decode on the dollar bill. It is in previous videos, but for those of you that haven't seen it, I will do that reference again. But that rabbit reference to Follow the White Rabbit is in the dollar bill. It's actually a number jump in the dollar bill. Okay, so when I get onto it, I will show you that. Now, what is interesting about this is some of the numbers that show up with this thing. Okay, now I read down here. I've just skimmed read through it. I haven't even really read it at all, but I wanted to get to the when this thing collapsed. Okay. Anyway, blah 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 blah. This culminated in the collapse of the receiver platform at around 6:55 a.m. AST, whatever that is, right? Anyway, on December the 1st, 2020. 6:55. I couldn't believe this. I just saw this. I just saw that 6:55 there. I'd just been talking about silver price and Madonna's. So if I go to the peak of the silver price today on the 11th, okay, today's day, it was at 86.01, which is Madonna's birthday numbers, yeah? So reference to Madonna. And don't forget, Madonna's birthday numbers are also in the golden ratio. So this idea of golden eye is super duper important with Madonna. In fact, if we've got a second, I'll show you where that she is in the golden ratio. But it's basically right at the start of the golden ratio. Anyway, so this, again, the reference with GoldenEye and Madonna is super duper important. Anyway, look at what time, if you can make that out on the screen. 6:55 a.m. They had to pick 6:55 a.m. and it ties into that Arecibo observatory collapse. Okay, and will we be looking at the collapse of silver here shortly? Will it go back up to 88 and then collapse back down to, I'm thinking 17? Okay, but anyway, I digress. Let's move on with the decode. So this is that day when that thing collapsed, the Arecibo Dam, the Arecibo Observatory. Okay, and they literally reference it in the film because they have a chunk of it fall off, and so spoiler alert: Sean Bean falls down, hits the deck, and of course, he's just fell hundreds of feet and not died. And then they have a chunk of, I'm sure they have a chunk of it that falls down and hits him as well. I can't remember what it is. Maybe it's, I don't know, part of the ladder or part of the bottom of the thing. Anyway, whatever it is, or the whole thing, I don't know what happens, but it's been so long since I've seen the film. But anyway, a chunk of it does fall down and hit him, I'm sure of it. Anyway, look at this. 1899 days, right, from that collapse through. Let's see it. Let's have a look at it. You're not going to believe this. Look at this. Look at the composite number here. 1608. Madonna's birthday numbers in there. That is just mental. That is absolutely mental. So not only do we have silver reference in it, with the peak price today at that certain time, 6:55, and then there's other dates in here we can look at, like the 19th, because this thing just fell down in bits and pieces. Certain wires were snapping at certain times. I remember doing some decodes on it at the time. Kind of reminds you of the start of Back to the Future with the speaker that blows up, the amp, the speaker that blows up at the start of Back to the Future. And note, at the Super Bowl they had Green Day with those speakers, okay, referencing to Back to the Future, I believe. Anyway, we'll look at November the 7th, we'll look at the 19th as well, and there was an earlier on date, which I think I might have in here as well somewhere. I can't remember what was an August date as well. I might not have that in here actually. And look at this. Also, September the 21st, 2017. What did we just have? I didn't put this in the video, but I put it afterwards. This is Madonna's, from Madonna's birthday through to 2/11 today. 51. It is 21921 composite. Oh my goodness. And also Bad Bunny, his numbers, his birthday, back to Madonna. Okay, I think I might have written in the comments wrong actually. But back to Madonna's birthday was 12991 days. Absolutely mental. Let's just look and see. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but let's go back to 11, just see what that is to today's date as well, see if it's anything mental as well. Probably not, seeing as that's already pretty crazy. Oh, well, yeah, it was all the 116 numbers. Okay, I don't think that's anything mental. No, not really. Okay, anyway, getting sidetracked there. Let's have a look at some of these other Arecibo numbers in here. So there is that 921. So there's all our 921 numerology. This is what is this? Through to today's date, 3065. So we've got the reference to like a complete cycle there with a year. What is this? Oh, 2626. Madonna, yeah, with the 2662 gematria. Oh my goodness, that's crazy as well. What else? And also look at that. Look at that as well. 5 times 613 as well for that. This is another little interesting bit in there with our 163. Just mental, absolutely mental. What's this? This is another collapse date. November the 19th through. Again, look how this is coming out. 1911. So we've got the date re-referenced, which is quite interesting as well. And then, of course, 1911. Of course, thinking about Titanic with 1911, and also look, 1618. Again with Madonna numbers, golden ratio numbers, whatever you want to. And then what's this last one? This was the November the 7th one as well in here, and I did to 213. I don't think it was anything interesting to 211, so I thought, well, just have a look at 213 because that's our date for the Hoover Dam. 1924. Anything interesting with that? I think it was, yeah, this was the 1630 composite. Crazy, absolute crazy stuff. We've got 226 showing up again there. Prime, look at this, 163, 166, 16633. Just crazy. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Anyway, seeing the number jumps there, you know, again, this, let's go back and just show you this last little bit and then we'll be done. So this is just prior to that whole thing there, and I think it's actually back just a hair bit more. This mosque collapse here remind me, this is like an inverse Arecibo falling down, you know, all these bits chonked out of it. Very similar to the speaker in Back to the Future. And we did some connections with that, I think, years ago with the number jumps there. I can't remember off the top of my head anything about that, whether it's worth revisiting or not. But you know, when that thing, what the hell was it? When that thing finally went, you know, we had all these holes in it basically. So super interesting with the flux capacitor connection on top of it and all the rest of it. And Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Oh my goodness. This really does explain a lot now with the whole thing. It's absolutely crazy. Was there anything that I missed out of here? August the 10th, we didn't do it. August the 10th, 2020. We'll stick that in now. August the 10th, Desperately Seeking Susan. That's Rosanna Arquette's birthday. The twin in Desperately Seeking Susan to Madonna. And she's also in Pulp Fiction in the scene where the Black Madonna dies, okay, which is Mia Wallace. Okay, tons of references in there. Anyway, let's do this one. August the 10th, 2020. Let's see what that is. August the 10th. Oh, to 213, it's 2013. You just can't write it. There's nothing difficult about this kind of decoding when you just the numbers are just all there. You just plop it in, and it's just bam. You know, look at this. Look at this number here as well. 177 numerology there that we just saw in the last video as well. And, oh, gee. Okay, what is it to the 11th? See if it's something interesting. Oh, it's going to be. This is correlating with as you drop back your numbers. It's staying on the same. We've got the same numbers showing up. So this is absolutely crazy. It's almost like a twin reference right there. Okay, 3R30. Remember, Pierce Brosnan's born 53, and remember I was showing the table in the previous video. This number is super important. The 35. Oh dear, oh dear. And what's this? Out of interest, 242. Okay. What else to say about it? I don't know. Yeah. So this is like twinism. So with the film itself, Janus. This is also to do with Madonna's twin, with Desperately Seeking Susan. I don't know what else to say other than look at how this number is corresponding with this number. That is insanity. And we also had that with the 1911 number as well. So, very interesting indeed. And I apologise if I scroll down on a number and then repeat something. Oh yeah, just thought about that. It'd be like me rolling down here and saying, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about, but that was that number that's repeated as well. Twinism. And interesting with the 911, the twinism as well there. Anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Okay, you get the idea. It's absolutely loaded. I don't know what else to say other than surely she's going to the island to have some pina coladas with Bowie tonight. I don't know. There's just been so much stuff. I mean, I don't know. I'm chasing my tail here, going around in circles with all this stuff. But if something was going to happen, this is just another one of these really good decodes, I think. It's a really, I mean, there's a lot of stuff with this. A lot of really interesting stuff. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on another one soon. Alright, cheers. Good night. God bless.